What is going on, guys? This is Mike, AOD81, and this is going to be video number 28 and the final video of our Umbral walkthrough with all trophy items, quests, stigmas, etc. Everything you can get on a single playthrough, and since we did the Umbral playthrough, it's the most you can get on a single playthrough. So, in our last video, we had finished running through Castle Brahmas, and we even went through the last little secret Umbral area, and we got our final Saintly Quintessence. So, essentially, we just need to go fight the final boss of the castle, and then proceed from there for our humble ending. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to warp over to Skyrest real quick. And I am going to do the final upgrade on my Sanguinarix.
Our holy work continues, Lampbearer.
So that is going to take us up to level 10, which gives us 9 heals. And that's also going to pop a trophy for you. Okay, so since we got that taken care of, I want to go talk to Mole U real quick. And I just want to look at his... I think we already looked to make sure we got all the spells and everything from the remembrances. Yeah, so we got all our spells and that corrupted banner javelin from our remembrances.
Chosen bearer of the lamp.
I haven't been buying his Umbral spells, but you'll want to buy his spells and rings. Actually,
until her embrace.
Let me see what I have for Vigor Skulls. I could get a couple if I used my Vigor Skulls. I'll use them and I'll get what I can get. I've been telling you guys to get them all, so I'll try to get them all. I just haven't been getting them, so I didn't have to farm the Vigor, and just a time saver. But, yeah, you definitely want to pick up all the spells and everything on your first playthrough, and it looks like I dropped some of those instead of using them. So we'll look at his inventory, and we'll pick up what spells we can. Okay, so he's still got 4. I'll grab his catalyst, and he's got this pendant, 2 rings, and these 3 spells that I didn't get, but I would suggest farming some Vigor for him and getting this on your first playthrough. Getting these spells and rings and everything on the first playthrough. So, that being said, now that our Sanguinarix is fully upgraded, we can go ahead and warp back to the castle. And now we're just gonna go fight the Sundered Monarch. We already have the Tortured Prisoner completely progressed. And let me change up my inventory real quick. I'm not gonna need Holy Salts, so I'm just gonna unequip those. I'm not gonna use any Brio stones. I'm not gonna use any small stones. If I do use stones, they're gonna be the large ones. Do I need... I'm gonna equip this elegant perfume. That's an item that the tortured prisoner gave us. As we were progressing her quest, I think it was the last progression point. She gave it to us, or it was over in Callrath when we went to bring her the charred letter, I believe, is when she gives it to us. But if you use this during the Sundered Monarch fight, it will stun him for, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. So we'll equip that just in case we need it. But other than that, I can buff my weapon with holy magic. So I don't really need anything else equipped. And just because you have 5 slots doesn't mean you have to use them all. If if you have items in here that you're not using that often, you can unequip them, and then it just makes it quicker to switch through your inventory. So you don't have to click all the way through 5. If you're trying to get to an item that's at the end, I only have 3 items equipped right now. So from our vestige, we're just gonna come back in this door that got blown up when we killed the conflagrant seer and these crystals blew up. We're gonna run up the stairs. After the crystals, we're gonna make a right, and that Minotaur is gonna be respawned, but if I stay to the left, I can just run up the steps. He's probably gonna aggro, and he might do that spell where the lava pools up. We'll see. No, he didn't cast it. So you see our summons are here, and obviously this is going to be the last fight that we need to summon Kukujin for. So we're gonna go ahead and summon her. Hi, Kukujin. I'm glad this is the last time I'm gonna have to pay you. And that's gonna be the arena. Once we run in there, the fight's gonna start. So I'm not gonna buff my weapon right away, but you'll see why in a second. I'm gonna run in. We'll just skip that. From afar, I'm gonna cast lightning twice, and then he's gonna throw something. He targeted Kukujin, but he's gonna keep tossing those, but that's gonna aggro him into his next point where he actually starts the fight. And now I'm gonna buff my weapon. Ooh, he did that right away. I wasn't expecting that. So with him, it's kind of just knowing his attack patterns. I'm gonna stay in close, and I'm gonna dodge, then attack. I'm gonna stay here, dodge, and attack. Dodge, attack. He does that sweeping arm attack twice. It's 3 times sometimes. I happen to get through it. Oh, he did it 4 times. Okay, now that he aggroes, he's gonna blow up twice. 1, 2. So we want to roll through both of those. And now he's gonna have a couple of different moves as well. I'm gonna dodge that. Hit him. There goes that swiping attack twice. Oh, there he did it again. And he knocked me into Umbral. That's okay. I'm gonna use my 8-second invulnerability. Or try to anyway. He does that where he summons some swords. So I'm gonna cast some lightning from back here. Rebuff my weapon. Dodge. And that should finish him off. not a very difficult boss. Once you know his attack patterns, he's pretty easy to dodge, evade. I mostly use evade, but since we completed the Tortured Prisoner quest, this cutscene happens. If we hadn't completed her quest, this scene wouldn't play, but I'll let you watch it on your own. And we're already in Umbral. If we weren't, we would want to pop Umbral so we can get this stigma with his remembrance. That's going to give us 2 scourings in his remembrance. And as we get to the top right here, there's going to be Queen Sophesia, aka the Tortured Prisoner. And we're going to talk to her, and that's going to complete her quest. We're going to get all her items, which some are trophy-related items, like that ring. That ring you can only get by completing her quest. And that should have popped a trophy for you by completing that right there. Now we're going to run up this way. And we're going to have a stigma right here. This is because we completed Drustin's quest. I think I may have in the last video at that stigma where Drustin gets attacked by the moth. I think I might have said the trophy popped there, but that's where you get his gear and everything. But I believe the trophy pops here.
Drustin, I'm sorry. This was all my fault.
So we're gonna get this stigma.
Wanted things to be better for us.
And I think this also gives us an item.
Forgive
but
me.
The trophy would have either popped at that last point where he got his gear or here. But regardless, we need the stigma for the stigma trophy and the Umbral scourings. No, I've already got Melchior's ring, so I must have gotten that with all of his gear. So if the trophy didn't pop in the last video, it will pop here when you do the stigma. But like I said, regardless, we need the stigma for the stigma trophy anyway. So now we're gonna go interact with a deer.
I look lead who see a great button with an opportune. You, only, and ice. Why? When you cast us, place your.
Once we do that, we're gonna use the Melchior's seed pod on him.
No! Wretched parasite!
And then we are going to run back out. There's an Umbral exit over here to the left. We can use it. And you know what the first thing on our agenda is. I'm just gonna throw a seed right here instead of running all the way back to the vestige. But we are going to Skyrest to pay Kukujin. So we're back at Skyrest, and we're gonna go pay Kukujin. 9,000 vigor.
The wise always do right. It seems smart. Thanks to you, I finally.
So now she's talking about
there's a bit someone shame with it, but I'll be sure I'm someone.
How she's
remember
leaving.
Everything. Some people thought I was how you see. Remember everything.
So you
Some
want to
people
run
find
through her
I was
dialogue.
raised how you see it.
And the trophy will either pop there when you talk to her, or we want to go up here and rest. Now when we go back to her cell, she's going to be gone and all of her items are going to be there. So if it didn't pop when we talked to her, it will pop when you pick that item up, and that's going to have all of her gear. And there is a piece of gear there that you get from completing her quest that you don't get when you fight her as a mini-boss. So, with Kukujin being complete and that god-awful quest being out of the way, we've got our trophy for that. And we can go over here, pop Umbral, and we'll go up and talk to Moldy real quick. He's got some new dialogue. He's actually talking about Harkin, the Iron Wayfarer here. We've already gone and taken care of Harkin, so we've got his Umbral Parasite, which is the last step to finish off the Umbral ending, but I'm gonna go to the Remembrances and go down to the Sundered Monarch, which is new to us. And there's his gear that you'll eventually need to buy in another playthrough, but I'm gonna buy the spell. And that leaves me with 37 scourings. I might have wanted to hang on to more than that because we still have to buy all of Elion's gear. But I'll explain a little bit more. If we don't have enough to get all of Elion's stuff after we fight her, I'll explain how you can do that. Because you need to do that on this run before you start a new game. Because obviously you can only get her gear when you beat her in the Umbral ending. So if you don't get all of her gear, you won't be able to get the trophies for the armor and weapons and everything else that she has. Without doing another complete Umbral run and then buying her gear. So, now that we've talked to him, since we already have Harkin's Parasite, we can interact with this post right here. Skip through that, and we'll talk to Moldy again.
So you must turn to the final project.
And now he's got some new dialogue, and he's talking about Elion, aka Pieta. So he's still open to us right now. I'll go ahead and buy these spells, pendants, and rings. I probably could have gotten a couple of levels before Elion, but I've been telling you guys to buy all that stuff, so I'm gonna buy it. And it'll make it easier to cross-reference what I had when I go to check to make sure we didn't miss anything. Any pendants and stuff like that I'm missing. Because I know I didn't buy the pendant from Dunmire, I'm gonna have to look that stuff up and make sure that it was a buyable that I told you guys to buy and not something that I missed out in the world. So we're gonna check and make sure that we got everything. But yeah, so I grabbed those spells just to make that easier. Now, since we're in Umbral, we're gonna go over and rest, and then we're gonna be ready to fight Elion. So, we're just gonna go over to Pieta, aka Elion, and hit the talk button, and we're gonna Soul Flare.
Lampbearer.
I'll let this play out because it's kind of cool. So now we're back by Mother's Law and we're going to fight Elion. But I'll let you watch the rest of it. I'm gonna buff my weapon real quick. she kind of does these delayed sword swings like that. And she does Pieta's thing where she summons those other ghosts. And she fires that at you sometimes. Ooh, I'm letting her beat me up. Now, once you take enough energy away from her, she's gonna split off into two, and you want to focus on this one, the ghost-looking one. Okay, once we've knocked the health off of that one, we want to come lock on to Elion and get a critical hit on her. And once we do that, she's gonna put her sword in the ground eventually, and we want to run away. She's gonna spit out all these eyeballs that do damage you. I can probably get off a lightning spell, and she's gonna blow up, and we have to roll through it. So I can get a hit right here. Ooh, I'm almost dead. And now focus on this one again. So I just dodge there, dodge. I knocked her health away again, so I just gotta find Elion and go get a critical hit. Come on. Oh, she almost got up before I got my critical hit in. Now she's gonna go into this third phase, kinda. This same thing happens with the eyeballs. So we're gonna try to run away from those. I can cast one of those and buff my weapon. Roll through that. And get ready to attack. Oop. This version of her. Better heal. Okay, now they're gonna fly and cross patterns, kinda. Oh, she's gonna fire her laser at me. Okay, I got knocked into Umbral, I think. Oh, no. Well, now I did. So I'm gonna use my 8-second invulnerability. Try to take her out. And now Elion is ready for a critical hit. And she is all done. So, we are in Umbral, but if you beat her in Axiom, you definitely want to pop Umbral. I actually missed this stigma because I think when I finally beat her on my first Umbral run, I ended up beating her still in Axiom, and I was so excited I forgot about even popping Umbral and getting this stigma. Which means I didn't get her remembrance, and I didn't get her items, so I had to do a whole run just to get this stigma and get all of Elion's items.
Achieved. Oh, precious Elion.
So now we've gotten her remembrance and that stigma. That stigma is ending specific. You can only get this stigma when you do the Umbral ending, obviously. So now we'll run back up this way. And we're going to warp back to Skyrest. And we're going to... Man, Skyrest is looking sparse these days. No blacksmith. No more Kukugen. no Andreas Oveb, Stoneman's dead, Tekir left, we just killed Pieta/Elion, Dunmire went nuts and disappeared, holy crap. Right now, the only merchant that you have is going to be Winterberry down in the crypt with Byron. But we're gonna go up here and pop Umbral. And critical coming up. Before we talk to him or do anything, we want to go to Offer Remembrance and go down to Elion, and we want to buy all of Elion's gear. I think I'm going to be a little bit short. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go over to the shrine here, and I can purchase some scourings with eyeballs. Hopefully you have enough eyeballs to get all of her gear. If not, you can, if you have any of these items, it'll make, if you use them out of your inventory, it'll make those lamps appear more often and you'll be able to get eyeballs. But I don't know exactly how many I need. I'm just gonna keep buying a few. Alright, now we'll see where we're at. So what do I got? I got 1 Umbral Scouring left, and I need 9 more. Also, at this point, did we get all 5 pumpkin scourings or not? Let me go ahead and just make a quick note about this now. I was gonna make another video to cover Crucible challenges, but if you don't, if you were following this walkthrough along and you ended up without enough scourings to buy all of Elion's gear, if you do these Crucible challenges, the rewards are a lot of, see right there, if we do this one, you'll see that it's hands, coins, and eyeballs is the reward. So if we did this Crucible challenge, we would get a bunch of each of those. For this one, it's an even bigger pile of hands, coins, and eyeballs. And that one just looks like a coin sack. That's all hands. And this one is all eyeballs. So if you did this Crucible challenge, which you would have to fight the Congregator of Flesh, the Hollow Crow, the Unbroken Promise, and Elion, and it gives you a ton of eyeballs. I can't remember how many, but it's up in the hundreds at least. I want to say it was like around 1,000 or so if you do this Crucible challenge. So if you've done the Umbral ending and you don't have enough eyeballs to buy the scourings you need to buy all of Elion's gear, I need 9 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna go to the Remembrance, go to Elion, and I'm gonna buy her last piece of gear. You want to make sure you get all of her gear on this run, because you won't have a stab at it at the Inferno ending or the Radiance ending. You have to do the Umbral ending in order to buy her gear, and her gear is required for the collect all weapons and collect all armor trophy. So we've gotten her gear. I believe we just want to go down to talk
And
to
so
Molyu now.
you must turn to the final, that which I entwined with Humboldt, liberate her from her husk, and if only for one.
Okay, so he's still got the dialogue from before we even fought Elion, probably because we didn't rest. So I'll go ahead and rest. And then we will pop Umbral and go back and talk to Molyu.
And so you that which I into liberate her from her husk, if only for.
Okay, what's going on here? Oh, I have to interact with this post. I'm sorry. We have to use Elion's Umbral Parasite. It popped on the screen right after we beat her. At the actual fight, when we killed her, we got her Umbral Parasite, and then we got the Molyu Stigma to get her remembrance. So we go to this pillar over here. Now we can interact with it, and we're going to use Elion's Parasite. So just make sure that you get all of her remembrance items before you do that. If you didn't, when you go to talk to him, if you select Enter Mother's Law, you're not going to have another chance. So if you already put it in the pillar and you still need to get her remembrance items, just go to do nothing and you can get back into the remembrance screen. But we've already got all of our items, so we're gonna go ahead and talk and select the option to enter Mother's Law. Now Molyu is gonna give a speech.
Yourself, child. Now, ferry them home, enact our mother's will. So long have I awaited your embrace.
So once his mission in life was completed, he sacrifices himself. He's actually going to be the last platform we can pull when we go into Mother's Law here. And we had been ignoring them before because you can't do anything until the end of the game anyway, and you get Molyus down there. But we're gonna walk up here. And that's going to be Damaros, the first person we used a seed pod on. We're going to Soul Flare. That's going to pull us to her. And then we've got Gerlinda that we used the seed pod on. That's going to pull us a little further. Then we have the Melchior seed pod that we used on a deer. So that's going to pull us a little bit closer. And then we have the Molyu. I don't know what you want to call it. Body. From when he committed suicide, so we can walk forward and get our Umbral ending. So after we do our cutscene, you're going to get the trophy. And I'll let you do the lore for yourself. And that's gonna be the end of the game. We did it, guys. We did an Umbral run, and we got everything along the way that you can possibly get. Now, as I said before, when you skip through, when you beat the game, it's going to give you two options, either to start a new journey or to continue the current journey. I think they changed things around in a patch. Okay, so you can begin a new game +1 for a higher difficulty challenge. This menu used to be different. It used to be a little less confusing. I want to continue my journey because, like I said, I'm going to look at my character and make sure that we've gotten everything. I don't know that if you start a new journey, if it's going to give you the option to go to New Game +1, or if it's just going to send you into New Game +1. But if you continue current journey, you'll be able to restart the game from your current level. I'm not sure if it gives you the option or not. If you just go to start new journey, it might automatically send you to New Game +1. But I'm continuing current journey regardless. I would recommend that you stay. If you're trying to platinum the game, I would recommend that you stay at the initial difficulty level until you get all your trophies, and then you can start increasing the difficulty from there. It'll just make your runs easier when you're trying to platinum. When I did my first run, I actually did the Umbral ending in my first run, but as I said, I missed Elion's items, and I also went straight to a New Game +1, and I was actually a little surprised at how buffed up the bosses were. I wasn't having trouble because all of your character content, you'll still have everything in your inventory when you restart is going to still be attached to your character. All your levels, everything is going to carry over. But the first time I beat the game and I went right into a New Game +1, the bosses were actually pretty difficult. I think there were a few bosses that I summoned help for, but that obviously was when I was a lot less experienced in the game. You know, with the skill level that I'm at now, obviously I probably wouldn't have had as much of a problem because I've essentially almost memorized the game now and I know all the attack patterns from the enemies. But just things to consider if you want to start a new journey with a +1 difficulty level, or if you want to keep it at the initial difficulty to mine your trophies. So, Mike, where do we go from here? Glad you asked. I'm going to go ahead and do some wrap-up videos. In one of the videos, I'm going to talk about what you're going to need to do in your Inferno and Radiance run in order to platinum. As far as the things that we couldn't do on this run because we went for the Umbral run. We did the Umbral run, so we were able to maximize the quests and maximize our trophies and everything. You can get the most amount of trophies in an Umbral run, but you're not going to have the Stigma trophy yet, because there's a stigma that we don't have that's specific to the Inferno ending, and just some little things like that. So I'm gonna make sure that I didn't miss any items. If I did miss something along the way, which I don't think I did, I'll find out what it was. We'll address that. We'll talk about the other endings and what you need to do to get your platinum. And I'm also I've gotten some people that have been asking me questions. You know, they've seen a couple things, how I've fight or dodge in some of the videos, and they've asked me, like, you know, what button presses are you doing to do that? So I'm probably gonna make a video about the fight mechanics and how they all work. So if there's people out there that are interested in that, if they haven't been playing the game for a long time, they're still a beginner, I'll make a video talking about how all the fighting mechanics work and the optimal ways to just master the fighting in this game, and maybe some of the platforming or something like that. But we are officially finished with our walkthrough, and I appreciate you guys walking. For those that followed all the way through, you guys are awesome. And just give the video a like and subscribe. If you know anybody that's playing the game that needs any help, make sure to share it. And I will see you guys next time. It won't be a continuation off this walkthrough, but well, it will be a continuation as far as explaining the next endings and what you need to do to get your platinum. But we're officially done with the game for our Umbral run. So I will see you guys on the next video. Hope everything helped. It's been a blast. You guys take care. See ya!